Godzilla and Gamera, Pokemon and Digimon, DeSantis and Trump. To hear social media tell it if Trump and DeSantis so much as step into the same zip code in anything other than boon companionship, the seas will boil, the bullfrogs will swarm, and every sphincter will slam shut in unison. I try not to read too much into the fact that most of the people who allege this happen to already be puckered assholes. I guess you are what you eat. But with primary season arriving by year's end, the populace appears divided into roughly two camps. Those like myself who are stocking up on Orville Regenbachers and settling in for the inevitable Trump-DeSantis dust-up, and those who, laughably and ahistorically, allege that for Trump to even address the omnipresent rumors of Captain Ron treating and fundraising with his avowed political enemies behind his back in preparation for a presidential challenge is somehow designed to divide the party and author an unrecoverable political catastrophe. And to those fine, upstanding, articulate gentlemen, I can but offer up the following admonition. Fuck you and the Ann Coulter you rode in on, you half-smart bleeding bevy of pants-shitting imbeciles. If you want Trump to win, you should be lining up enemies for him to mercilessly insult. And if you want DeSantis to win, see fucking above. Look, the actual political record of both Trump and DeSantis gives me more pause than that alien chick from out of this world. It's a tall task indeed to ask me to unreservedly endorse a man who can honestly claim to have once hired John Bolton, even if he admittedly fired his ass when he tried to spark another fucking forever war. And it is equally untenable to hitch my wagon to a dude who once expressed unreserved admiration for same.
I found this very interesting. You've been endorsed by Club for Growth, Koch brothers, a group supported by them, Senator Lee, a very, very conservative, Phyllis Schlafly.
Well, I think that's right. I think I've really been able to unite the conservative movement. I think if you look at the different strands of our movement, you have a national security branch, which I think is best represented by Reagan's philosophy of peace through strength. So you look at someone like an Ambassador Bolton who's supporting me.
Virtually every concern I have about DeSantis, I could just as easily argue about Trump. Trump endorsed Lindsey the Lady Killer Graham, while DeSantis endorsed Lil Marco Rubio. Red flag Ron is an utter fucking catastrophe on the Second Amendment. But it's tough to be too terribly pissed about it when Trump's bullshit bump stock ban grabbed all our guns by the pussy. If it's perfection in politics you're looking for, you'll have a long vigil indeed, my friends. Generally speaking, I'm more of a Rand Paul guy, yet even he is far from perfect. For one, his foreign policy makes me playing Hearts of Iron 4 look like fucking Napoleon. All the same, if Rand somehow slid into the White House unannounced and started auditing the Fed and dismantling the IRS and FBI, you couldn't bring my boner down with a boat anchor. But I've long since resigned myself to the fact that Rand Paul's best shot at the White House is with a Daisy air rifle. And so a duel between the Don and the Ron appears probable. Whatever DeSantis himself says coyly before rolling fucking video cameras. And really, that's my only unmitigated criticism of Ron DeSantis. Stop with the let's all get along horseshit. We've seen that fucking movie. It was called John McCain 2008, and I walked the fuck out in the middle of it. If you want to win, you have to sack the fuck up and fight. And the immortal words of a Marxist Muppet, that's a good thing. Because if DeSantis is really the real deal, and I certainly hope he's shed his prior political allegiances and becomes so, then dueling with the Don on a national stage is going to do nothing but fucking favors for defining his career and political positions going forward. And the same could be said of his opponent. If history's any guide, Trump is never more at home than when touching gloves and going 10 rounds with a worthy opponent. In 2016, when Ted Cruz took enough mono-party money to be briefly anointed as the savior and spoiler for the Trump movement, the Lion Ted train immediately left the station, and Trump certifiably steamrolled his unctuous ass thereafter. By the end, Princess Cruz was a punchline, and Trump the presumptive president. Months later, when Hillary's handlers dropped the October surprise pussy tape, the gloves came clean the fuck off, and Trump dominated debates thereafter, which as much as anything was responsible for sending that cankled cow off to the slaughterhouse. Point being, if Trump or his disciples are honestly really arguing there should be no primary and no high noon showdown with DeSantis, you'd be robbing T-Pain of arguably his greatest superpower, his inexplicable capacity to level the fuck up when his balls are to the wall. And really, that's what primary season is all about. Everyone on that stage is going to be grinding for XP like a Chinese hacker farming gold on fucking WoW. Meanwhile, DeSantis, who's positively appraised by most Republicans nationwide and almost universally by fucking Floridians, has really yet to level up to the national stage just yet, and a primary is the perfect opportunity. DeSantis is like the Italian Navy on opposite day. He's in a no-lose situation. Think about it. If he tussles with Trump but falls short in the primaries, he still gets the rub from being on national TV night after night, and if Trump is an unsuccessful nominee for president after that, he's the one that got away and probably pulverizes the competition in 2028. If Trump should be reelected a second time and proceed to shit the Lincoln bedroom or use the Constitution as a moist towelette, DeSantis gets to be the guy to say, see, I tried to spare you all this cock and bullshit and you turned me away, and he's far more likely elected the following cycle. If Trump gets elected and reigns like a benevolent fucking king, DeSantis can support his administration and still wind up the heir apparent to a prosperous nation. And in an era where you need a cashier's check to make a soft-boiled egg, he certainly can't do much fucking worse. No matter which angle you assess it from, DeSantis' entire asshole has utterly enveloped the catbird seat. So let them fucking fight, stupid! Don't cry and crap your pants and sob about what a weak and fragile ego Trump has for hitting DeSantis, because anyway you slice it, a fight between these two benefits both. Stop outsmarting yourselves, sit the fuck down, and shut the fuck up! Politics as usual and losing with dignity died in 2016, and it ain't ever coming back. For all the fuckwads claiming that if DeSantis simply stays the course and refuses to attack anyone on his own side, you can't conceivably be deluded enough to actually believe he won't be willing to throw hands in the fucking primary. DeSantis' political ally, Jeb, was the exemplar and embodiment of can't we all just get along in 2016?
I think the next president needs to be a lot quieter, but send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
But when Bush came to shove and the lights hit the debate podium, he pounded Trump harder than Eric Swalwell on a Chinese spy's slatch. And well, he fucking should.
You said in September 30th that ISIS was not a
Am I
not
talking or are you talking, Jeb?
I'm talking right now. I'm talking.
You can go back. You're not talking. You interrupted me,
September 30th,
Jeb. Are you going to
you said
apologize, Jeb? No. Am I allowed to finish?
Yes, one at a time.
Excuse
Go ahead,
me. Am I allowed to finish?
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
So,
Little of your own
again,
medicine there,
I
Jeb.
know you're trying to build
Bush,
up your energy,
please.
Jeb, but it's not working
One at a
very
time.
well. Look.
How the high holy hell are you gonna cuck communist China or confront the equally commie labor lobby if you don't have a ready rejoinder for a weak-ass insult like disanctimonious? Because the state have lived high on the hog for some time, and it is agonizingly apparent the bill is about to come due. When it does, the people need a president, not a straw poll in a suit. No one wants a president who divides their time between running for office and running for cover. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.